This video was created by Your Future is Our Business in partnership with the Santa Cruz County Office of Education for the Computer Science and Information Technology Education Week taking place from December 7th through 11th, which provides access to a variety of activities exploring different areas of CS and IT. In this video, we'll hear from Irvin Lemus about his career as a professor specializing in cybersecurity at Cabrillo College.
My name is Irvin Lemus. I work at Cabrillo College. I am the cybersecurity professor. I teach all the cybersecurity courses at Cabrillo, and I also am the Bay Area Cyber Competitions Regional Coordinator. In those two roles, I not only do I teach cybersecurity, but I also create contests for the states of California, Missouri, and Florida. But I actually just see myself as a troublemaker. I am an ethical hacker, which means I find ways into a machine and then figure out ways how to prevent others from coming in. So using that knowledge, I educate others on how to protect and defend themselves from real attacks. The problems I'm trying to solve are how are the bad guys getting in, and not only showing, but also preventing them from getting in. Information technology is everything technology related in the sense of computers, because there's technology in mechanics, there's technology in cosmetology. Information technology is all about data, is all about how does a system like a cell phone, a laptop, a Nest device, how does it function, the various pieces inside the CPU, the graphics, the network, any input, and be able to communicate with other devices that are either similar or totally different, like a smart toaster and a laptop are able to communicate with one another. That is the whole umbrella of information technology. I got into information technology through my high school tech teacher. He taught computer repair, basic networking, and electronics. He turned my lights on and showed me what I could do, drove my curiosity into the field, and really set off quite an explosion. He understood the potential, he understood my curiosity, and showed me things that would take my interest. For example, I was able to take one computer and send a message to every computer in the school district. And in hindsight, it's actually pretty easy, but it also showed just how weak the security was in that school district. So it made it easy for me to send a message that would show up on every student and teacher's machine, including administrators, even at district offices, all at the same exact time. So it was fun watching IT storm into the room, trying to figure out who it was and who's going to think it's me. But it was me. As a teen, I spent my time tinkering with computers. I broke the first 3 computers that my parents bought because I wanted to know what was in them and how they worked. And my parents didn't have a lot of money. They're immigrants from El Salvador. They left during the Civil War. Myself being born and raised here, I didn't live a life of luxury, but what I had, I used and abused, and I got that basic fundamental learning by being very curious and breaking stuff. And then when I found that high school tech teacher, life definitely found a direction, and I've never looked back since. I have been in the field for 13 years, and it has been an awesome 13 years. I don't see myself doing anything else. You need to understand how things work. You need to have an understanding of how a computer works, how they talk to one another in order to learn how to defend them. Because there's no point in just trying to learn how to attack a game or attack a computer if you don't actually know how it works. Because at worst, you're going to break things that you'll spend more time fixing instead of learning more about it. So in our field, we use certifications like the CompTIA Security Plus, Pen Test Plus, CYSA, the CISSP, and others. That's how we use to validate the the person's knowledge in the field. The easiest way for students to get experience in this field is by participating. This is why I created a competition program where students can learn and get hands-on experience that they can add to their resume, that they can add to their experience ahead of getting a job and getting into higher education like at Cabrillo. In education, I have a bachelor's degree, and then I have Security Plus, CYSA, and CISSP as my certifications. At Cabrillo, I teach CIS 75, which is the introduction to cybersecurity. I teach the ethical hacking class. I teach the digital forensics class. And then I also have a bunch of other classes that I am writing that are publicly available for anybody to take. A day or a week? It changes. So in a week, I'll spend the first 2 days teaching. I have 4 classes that I normally teach for Cabrillo. And then the rest of the week is spent working on either projects for the competitions program, creating content that students can use to learn, working on my classes, and doing a bunch of little side projects that I do that I always get in trouble for, but that's just part of the fun. An example is I am currently working on a project to disassemble Pokemon Yellow, because I want to be able to manipulate the game in any way, shape, and form I want without the use of other tools to mess with it. Projects that I have worked on is I've created awesome contests like a bug bounty program. We created a bunch of ATM machines, and we had students figure out what was wrong and fix them and present on them. That was a very fun project. We knew that we wanted to do a bug bounty contest. We wanted to show students what it's like to find bugs in a system and be able to talk about it to real IT folks. But at the time, I couldn't really put my finger on what I wanted the students, I didn't know what I wanted the students to dig into. And in my usual sense, I need to go out and about and kind of see the world and really, really find something that spoke to me. And I remember going to Target and messing with that scanner that they have on a couple of the posts throughout Target, where you can find out the price tag scanner. And I noticed one of them was a little funny and caught my eye, and I went up to it and started messing with it, and I realized that it was running Windows XP in 2019. So that piqued my curiosity of going, oh, that's interesting. Why is this scanner, when you take a barcode up, why is it running XP, an old outdated operating system? So I kept looking around the Target, see what other info I could find. And by the time I got some stuff and went to the register, so I didn't look like a weirdo just walking around the place, at the register, I also noted that the register was running XP as well. And I went, oh, no wonder you guys got hacked a couple years ago. You're running outdated systems that are internet connected. Well, I'm going to pay with cash. I'm not going to let you use my card. But I took that nugget of information, and when we started talking about, okay, so what is this bug bounty going to look like? I said, well, you know what? The ATM systems are running XP. So obviously they're outdated, and it's probably not a far-fetched idea that other stores are also having registers that are outdated. Digging a little further, we also found that ATMs, like the ATM that's sitting outside of the Santa Cruz, the county fair, it has Windows XP embedded. So you know that thing cannot upgrade, but yet it's actively in use by the county fairground. So that turned on a light, and we said, that's perfect. Let's find an ATM. So we actually asked the college for an old ATM that they were going to throw away. We took that thing apart, broke it down to just the minuscule pieces of how it functioned, how it worked, both the hardware and the software, and created our own ATM out of that knowledge. We weren't able to get the physical keys, but I have a key lock, so we were able to break that pretty easily. But we were able to take apart a system and be able to create our own. We've worked on, we did a small business consultation game where we built an entire office that students had to find out what's wrong and fix it. And each of these has very complicated challenges within them. That is some of the stuff that I love doing every week in my job. The Pokemon Yellow is a thing that I just started like 2 days ago, and it's been a whole lot of fun taking the game apart and seeing how it works and making changes to it on the fly. Another project that I worked on is I took Raspberry Pis and I turned them into a data center, like the ones that you normally see that you have to spend like $10,000. I figured out how to do it in under $200. A Raspberry Pi is this credit card sized computer. It can do pretty much anything, even though it is small, it has enough power to do normal work. And I've just taken this little thing and taken it to full power to see its full potential. And so far, it's performing really well. So that's been a fun project that I've actually put out to the world so that anybody can mimic and have their own little data center. Hard skills is definitely technical. Again, understanding how computers work, how computers talk to one another, plays a very critical role in doing things like web application security, where I go to a site and see what's wrong with it and try to manipulate it, or take a computer that's supposed to be locked and find ways around it, either by getting through the USB or tricking the camera or putting a keylogger. That's a lot of technical hard skills. And soft skills use a lot of communication, a lot of explaining complex technical concepts and situations in a way that anyone can understand. So there's definitely a lot of people interaction to educate, while also having the technical knowledge to be able to do the things that I'm talking about. Collaboration is essential in cybersecurity. The bad guys collaborate all the time worldwide, regardless of their language and geographic location. They have a intricate network where when someone finds a vulnerability, they share it with others, and others perfect it, build a proof of concept, and exploit it in the world. That's how you have these, like the current ransomware attacks. So us, the good guys, we do the exact same thing. Regardless of what company we work for, regardless of where we are, we work together as an international group to fight against this well-organized group. The challenges is constant education. If you are interested in the field of cybersecurity, know that you will never stop learning. As new technology comes out, there are new ways to circumvent. As new products are coming out, there's new ways to figure out what's wrong with them. As new software and patches come out, how do you circumvent? How do you apply? How do you defend and detect these attacks that are happening? You're always learning. You're always doing new things. And to me, it's fun because it's never boring. I don't have to sit at my desk and do the same thing again and again. I'm always doing new things, trying new stuff, letting my curiosity fly and imagination as I build things or find ways around. I enjoy it, but I know that always learning isn't for everyone. My most favorite thing is I can do illegal things legally. For example, I'm taking apart a game. Like I said, in the last 2 days, I'm taking apart a game that is under copyright and all that fun stuff, but I'm doing it for educational purposes. I'm learning how it works. I'm learning how the Game Boy functioned in the background to be able to manipulate the game to do whatever I want. Totally illegal in any other sense, but because it's for education and it's because for learning, it's fine. For the same reason that you lock your door when you walk out of your house, or you close your windows, or you lock your car, for the exact same reason. Security is everywhere. It's both physical security that we've all grown up with, and digital security as well. So it's my job to show everyone that the digital world and the physical world are actually one. And the same things you do at home to secure yourself is the same things you should be doing with your digital life. Right now, the trend that I'm seeing is a ditching of Intel and AMD. I think Apple embracing ARM and using that as their current processor is going to cause a seismic shift everywhere else. If Apple can pull this off, and my guess is they will, everybody else like Samsung and others will start producing CPU chips that are ARM based, which is a different architecture from Intel and AMD. And it's kind of, in the tech world, it's kind of like we've had our two-party system and now we have a third. I predict that this is going to be big, that we'll no longer have just two chips to deal with. We'll also have a third option. And that the ramifications of that are pretty big, because that means content creators have to be able to create stuff for all three processors. That means we need to have defenses and devices that can handle all three and be able to work within them all. So this is adding a whole new realm into the things that we do and we have to keep watch over. It's fun. My first piece of advice is do not feel like you have to do programming first. This field does not require programming. It is something that you can have. It is something that you'll eventually learn, but it is not a requirement. It's not a prerequisite to get into the field of cybersecurity. More specifically, you should start learning how computers work and how they talk to one another. Understanding that basic concept will help you out greatly. My second item is play those games that are freely available. Play and capture the flags. Don't do it to win, do it to learn. And that's something that we do a lot in our competition program, where we have students participate in as many capture the flags as possible, and they can work together and help each other out as they learn the various concepts. We have lots of training material that we're putting out often, and training sessions. So anybody for free can jump in and start learning if they want to get involved in this field. Definitely have your own lab, create your own lab. And if you want to know how you can do that, you can always bug me and I can show you how to build your own home lab. But definitely hack the planet. Actually, there's a friend of mine who's working on hacking satellites right now. It's total public knowledge. It's just knowing how does a satellite communicate to the ground? How do you communicate with it, and what you can send up and down, and realizing how insecure satellites are and what you can do with them. Yeah, totally hack the planet. Do this as a career and be able to have a whole lot of fun and learn a whole lot of things and enjoy every day. Or you could be a criminal and get thrown in jail and never work on a computer again. It's a pretty straightforward decision. If you want to do something for criminal reasons, know that there are people who know exactly what you're doing and can figure it out and can reverse their way to you. I am with the good guys. I am not going to do something for an illegal reason because I don't want to get thrown in jail. I'm having too much fun. I want to keep messing with new things, learning new technology, and advancing my knowledge and teaching others. I don't want to go to jail just because of some attempt at something. So I would strongly suggest anybody who wants to get into this field to not do things illegally, because you're going to get in trouble. Learn how we do things. That's why I have the competition program. That's why I have classes. You learn how to do illegal things legally so that you don't get in trouble, so that you can have a career and live a great life learning stuff and hacking the planet. I am living proof that my parents, who came to this country with nothing, in a country ravaged by war, they came here and they got me through high school. They got me into college, and I was able to get up on my own 2 feet and be able to bulldoze into this industry and be able to help them out is a testament that we can do it. As a Latino, firstborn of parents who were immigrants from a civil war in El Salvador, you can do it.